Matthew 24, verse 22, and it reads, and except those days should be and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Kalalayim Alahayanawa Yahawah Bahasham, Yawashi Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who teach one and rule well. Peace and salutation to the Akim, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth at risk of their own lives through the four corners of the earth. To the Ak with listening and learning, Shalom. Now we'll get right into it through the Spirit and power of Yahawah Bashim Yawashi, the title will come. But we'll read this precept once again. Red letter, our Lord said this. Matthew 24, verse 22, once again. And except those days should be shortened. Right? The Most High's got to shorten. The Most High shortening these days for a specific purpose, man. Right? Because if the Most High didn't shorten these days, man, right? This diabolical madman, Esau Edom, would destroy everything, man. Right? With his science, with his devices, with his medicine, with his defiled food. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. Right? That's why the Most High got to shorten these days, man. Speed it up. Because nothing would be left. But for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened, right? The Most High shortening these days for the elect's sake, man. Right? I just wanted to touch on these couple articles here. I'm not going to read them. Just the headlines. NBC News. Without ability to force recalls, FDA can only warn consumers about benzene in hand sanitizers, right? And you've noticed, I know everyone's noticed, I know I've noticed that since this juice thing, there's an uptick in hand sanitizers everywhere, man. They're at the doorposts and entrances of every establishment, man. There's pump dispensers of hand sanitizer, right? The toxicity of benzene has been known for over 120 years. It's directly linked with causing leukemia in humans. It's a group 1 carcinogen, yeah. It's a group 1 carcinogen, right? This is toxic, man. This benzene thing. This is Esau's science, man. This is Esau's wickedness. This is Esau's enchantments, his devices. NBC Connecticut. Unable to force recalls, FDA can only warn consumers about benzene in hand sanitizers. Bloomberg.com. Does deodorant cause cancer? Leukemia causing benzene. Antiperspirant and deodorant and body sprays have been found to contain elevated levels of the carcinogen benzene and should be recalled. Benzene found in spray deodorants now too. U.S. company petitions FDA to tackle benzene contamination. Check your sunscreens. More recalls due to benzene. Yeah, this is Esau, man. Right? Psalm 64, verse 5, and it reads, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. Right? So they encourage themselves in an evil matter. Esau's always going through his think tanks to come up with more ways. Let's look up this word matter. To destroy Jake, man. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. Debar.
Strong's H 1697. Davar.
Speech, word, speaking, thing, speech. Business occupation, acts, words, matter, case. Right. They encourage themselves. They encourage themselves. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. Right. Evil speech, evil words. They commune. Right. They meet. Right. Let's look at this word. Commune. They commune of laying snares. Right. Traps.
Strong's H 5608. Safer. Safer.
To count, recount, relate. To talk, right? Yeah, this is them in their think tanks, man. They go into their meetings, right, of how to lay snares for Jake. Privately, behind closed doors, right? They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them, right? And that's the Illuminati on the left side, on the left-hand side. The enlightened ones on the left-hand side, man. They have all these clandestine meetings and think tanks on how to destroy Jake, man, with their devices. And what are some of their devices, man? Their pharmakia, their sorcery, their enchantments, this juice, benzene. Verse 6, they say they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, right? They go deep with their science, man. They test, they beta test, they test again. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep, right? The inward thought of every one of them, and they go deep. Their mind is deep. They go deep into their devices, man. Verse 7, but Yahawah shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded, right? Ultimately, it's destruction coming for Esau, Edom, and their wicked devices, man, by way of the thermonuclear heat, intercontinental ballistic missiles, in tandem with the laser beams from the chariots. Verse 8, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, right? We see that whistleblowers, Esau and their whistleblowing, telling on themselves. All that see them shall flee away, right? All that recognize their wickedness and their agenda is gonna ultimately try and distance themselves from what it is Esau's doing, man. Right? But ultimately Esau wants to destroy Jake, 2/3 of our people. John 10 verse 10. And it reads, in this red letter, our Lord said this, the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy, right? And that's what Esau does, man. It's just destruction and stealing and killing, man. I am come that they might have life, right? The elect. Yawashi came for the elect. Beginning with the elect. Ultimately, all Israel will be saved. The elect on this side, 2/3 in the kingdom. And that they might have it more abundantly, right? Yawashi is coming for beginning with the elect. Ultimately, all Israel will be saved. But 2/3 got to die by death on this side. Death by pain on this side. Right? And the Most High going to use Esau to be a sword. I pray you edified. I don't want to disaster. Pray it up. Pray it out, CC. Kwame Asherella. Wa Abad Babal.